Hi everyone, and welcome to the Q&A Heart and Brain video. It's a response to all the questions that you guys sent in on my project Heart and Brain. Just thank you all so much who took time out of your day to send in these questions. I feel very honored. And I received 12 questions in total, but I narrowed it down to 10 because some were the same questions but in different words, so I just narrowed it down and it ended up 10 questions in total. So thank you all so much. It means so much that you guys have read Heart and Brain. This whole month is Heart and Brain month, so there's going to be videos in relation only to the project. I've been harassing everyone on Facebook, writing on my walls, asking people if they want to send in questions. I only ask people who read some of the work, so thank you all so much. And there will be more videos in relation to Heart and Brain, like I said before, and I'm so excited because this is my first video just for Heart and Brain, so I'm very, very excited. So I just want to start with the first question that I've received on FormSpring. Let me just say that I first announced this December 6th, and today's December 10th, and I know it was so quick, but I just want to get stuff done. I'm too excited to just wait weeks, and once December is over, that's when Heart and Brain month is over, so I'm kind of sad, but I'm also excited that we have so many days left until December is over, so we have a lot of time left to celebrate Heart and Brain all together. So thank you so much. The first question that I received is, can you make another Heart and Brain? Yeah, in a way. I will be making other projects that will have the kind of themes that I have in Heart and Brain. Everything that I do will have a relation to Heart and Brain because the humans have a lot of obstacles. So Heart and Brain is just some of the obstacles that humans all go through. So I think that yes, I will make another Heart and Brain. It's not gonna be called Heart and Brain, but you will see the same theme in other projects that I will do, and once I get the right amount of resources and other stuff, there will be lots of cool visuals that I've been having and I want to share with you guys. So I am excited, and there will be more stuff, but not Heart and Brain Part 2, but there will be other projects that are related to Heart and Brain. So yes. Another question is, which one can you connect to? I'm guessing which piece do I connect to? Well, all of them. I connect with all of them because I feel as if it's something that everyone goes through. These pieces are really a connection to every single human being, and that was really the message that I wanted to get out. So when you read these messages, I hope it turns out to be a reflection of yourself. So it is a reflection of me. It is a reflection, I hope, to all of my readers who's ever read Heart and Brain. So the one that I connect to is all of them. I connect to every single piece. Which one is your favorite? I don't know. The time that I was writing Heart and Brain, my favorite was Penetration. It was funny to me. It was extremely funny, and it was my favorite because it was the one that I knew everyone was gonna like, because everyone likes a good sex story. So I feel as if Penetration, as I was constructing Heart and Brain, but now my favorite has to be Invisible. Both versions, both Brain and Heart version of Invisible, I like a lot, and I think that one reaches home for me. It reaches home for lots of people. So I think Invisible is my favorite one. But while writing it, Penetration wasn't my favorite. But they're all my favorite. I love all of them. So, but Invisible is really beautiful. Which story was hardest to make? Well, A couple. A couple were extremely hard to make. The reason they were hard to make is because I knew when I was going to release Heart&Brain, when I was going to release Heart&Brain, I knew it was gonna either be something that people were gonna be connected to, or just something that people wanted to read to make me feel good. What I mean by that is, I don't want people to like my work just because I suggested it. I want them to actually have a connection with it and actually change their lives. So it was hard to make because I wanted to perfect each piece to have a connection so deep with the reader. I mean, so deep that each piece was extremely hard to make, not because I didn't find the right words, well, in a way, but because I wanted to make it as perfect as it can be. But what I later learned is that nothing is perfect, and that's what Heart&Brain is all about. So the process of making a Heart&Brain actually gave me the answer to the reason that I wrote it. So it's just a whole bunch of meanings. So they were all hard to make, but the hardest, I guess, was all of them. I can't find which one. Next question: what is the overall meaning, moral to your Heart&Brain story? The whole Heart&Brain, the meaning is self-acceptance, and the moral is to search yourself, find yourself within your spirit. But that's my interpretation of what I believe is Heart&Brain. The reason I say my interpretation, even though I made it, is because I sometimes feel as if my own work stands on its own 2 feet. I just write it, but sometimes it's kind of weird, but I sometimes feel like I'm Dr. Frankenstein, and then I make my own creation, and it takes up a life of its own. So that's why I like expressing my work so much, is not to feel high and mighty, but because I don't feel as if it's something that I made. It's something that used me to make it. So I feel very used by my work, because I feel as if the spirit inside me is using me, using my body to write, and then that spirit makes its own work. So I think the overall meaning and moral is self-acceptance, and to understand the meaning of life itself, and it's that perfection will never be found, but perfection is overcoming obstacles in life. But there's so much meanings within Heart&Brain while making it, that it was really sometimes overwhelming, because it was just so many things punching me, slapping me around, and it was just so many different things. But I think my interpretation is self-acceptance, finding yourself, and really understanding that you are beautiful. You are very beautiful. Next question: how long did it take to make it? Extremely fast, actually. I think if it weren't for me being so eager to perfect it, to try to make each piece as perfect as it can be, I think I would have made it in a week or less than that. But I actually made it in 2 weeks, I think. But it was extremely fast because each idea was just popping up. So it was extremely fast, but I think that overall, I think it was extremely slow. I don't know why. I think 2 weeks sometimes is a little too long. But it was kind of fast. For the world, it was kind of fast. For me, it wasn't, but it was fast. Next question: how do you get to know your work better? I love this question so much, because whoever wrote this question, asked me this question, understands me. because they understand that I love talking about the things that I do. So how do you get to know your work better? In better words, how do you get closer with your work? I get closer with my work because, well, the way I get closer with my work is my art is me. I don't divide. I don't really make another life with my art. I don't, say, well, this is my life, and then, when I feel like it, I'm gonna go back to my art. And my art is me. I get closer with my art because I have an aggressive, artistic, spiritual being, I feel. The reason I say that is because there are some times when I have creative visions that I can't control. So when I believe in something, when I see something, when I want to make something, sometimes it will just keep on popping up in my mind until I make the projection in my mind. I spend every single day just thinking of new ideas. Things pop into my mind, and I get to know my work better because it's so aggressive. And I always honor. This is one thing that I feel as if everyone should do, and is honor every single vision and because when you let go of that creative idea, you will never get it back, and then you forget about it, and then you regret it. I think that I also get closer with my work is because I have to fight my own self sometimes. The reason that I say that is I have to fight my fear of being judged, because everyone is sometimes afraid of being judged, but I think I'm at this point of my creative process that I don't give a fuck about what anyone thinks about me. I really don't. But sometimes, the human kicks in me, and I sometimes am afraid of saying, well, do I really want to do this? Am I, is this too much? But my art just tells me, you know what, you better fucking do it, or else, so that's how I feel as if I get closer with my work, and I understand my work better because I marinate myself in it, and I never let it go, and I honor it all the time, and I'm so proud of my art that I always expressing myself through any way possible. And the reason that I don't define myself, I don't give myself a label. A lot of people say, oh, you're very into fashion, or you're very into taking images, or you're very into this. Well, it's not just one thing. I have a whole every single art form I try to practice and perfect, because that's my way of expressing the artist. So I express myself through fashion, and I express myself through the words, through poetry, through writing. I express myself through photography, through so many different ways. And I thank all of these things, because sometimes the art just wants to burst out, and this is how so it's kind of like a creative ejaculation in a way. So I come every time. I come art. If I'm allowed to say that, but that's how I feel sometimes. And I sometimes get upset because what I'm saying right now, this video, is just half of how I get to know my work better. And I always get upset because every time I make a video, I look back and I'm like, shit, I should have said more. Or sometimes I think, and I think, and I say, oh, I should have said that, because there's so much of, explanation to how I get closer to my work, but this is just a way to sum it all up. But that's how I get closer to my work. And I love that question, and I love you so much, whoever sent that question, because that's a real person who knows me, I guess. Next question. What made you want to do a Heart and Brain video? The reason I want to make a Heart and Brain video is because some people who read or will read Heart and Brain they're at a point in their life where they may not understand the words. So I feel as if giving those readers my interpretation will make them understand the work better. And sometimes I hate explaining my work, but I guess I'm very generous because I think of what other people and how, because there's not many people who may understand what I write, and that's why I'm making another video explaining each piece. So this is kind of an explanation for the people who do not understand, or for people who want to know my interpretation, because since I wrote it. So I like sharing my opinions on my own work sometimes, and creating discussions on the work. I like discussing. That's why I always harass people and always on my Facebook and telling send questions, because I like talking about art and you know, just really always talking about art and expressing myself and being proud and reading other people's work. There's so many amazing people who I know who make amazing art, and they're so inspiring. And I was inspired by a lot of people while making Heart and Brain, and that will be for the next video that I would explain something. So the reason I made this video is really to just give an explanation to all of you readers and all the people who only see my videos. So this is just my interpretation of what Heart and Brain is, and it's also a celebration of Heart and Brain, and it's just so many things at once. Next question. What inspired you to make Heart and Brain? It's funny because these questions are in order, and this is the last question, and it's the most amazing question. But I don't know if I could answer it. I really don't know, because before I wrote Heart and Brain, I started getting these ideas of the brain, of science. First, I was inspired by the left brain and the heart brain, and how one side of the brain is really just logic, and the other side is emotion. But then I started thinking the heart and the brain. The heart, everyone talks about the heart, and then I started thinking about the brain, and then ideas just started slapping me in the face. But I don't know. The reason I say I can't answer is because there's so much background to making Heart and Brain, and it was such an it was an emotional roller coaster. It was really to share with all of you my work is to actually become my work, and to become Heart and Brain. I had to become Heart and Brain, and there was a piece. Invisible. I haven't recently lost anyone through death, but somehow I put myself in Mr. Monroe's shoes, and I wrote Heart and Brain, and I wrote Invisible. So inspiration that came to me, well, I guess I can't answer it. Marilyn Monroe. She inspired me. I don't know. I'm still summing up how she inspired me for this, but I feel as if her story of misconception inspired me. That's why Mr. Monroe has her eyes and her mouth. Different people inspired me. But writing the pieces and the emotional journey and the creative journey for Heart and Brain, it was so much. It was extremely hard to make, like I said before, because the perfection that I wanted to have. But I feel as if, like I said in the introduction of Heart and Brain, the more I tried to perfect it, the more of a writer's block I received. I couldn't write. The more I tried to, write and I had to make this right. The more I try, to make it as perfect as it can be. Try to become the next William Shakespeare or something. It just started fucking up. So I had to let go of perfection and just write. And just write. And that's when everything just started summing up perfectly. Everything just started going doot, doot, and just dropping, and just dropping, and just dropping. And Marilyn Monroe, which is someone that I love a lot, I had to put myself in her shoes also. And I feel as if I had to understand how she felt in those moments when she was, you know, she was only seen as one, she was defined, when in reality, her whole life was just an adventure. And she was just seen as a pretty face. And you may ask, how is this a connection to Heart and Brain? But there are some stories in there, like Mirror, for example, of not loving yourself and just looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing nothing and you're worthless. And that was really extremely hard to do, because I know there has been people who read Heart and Brain who are going through that experience. So I had to make sure that my words were going to enter their spirit, enter their body, because when a person is thinking about suicide, ending their life, my words literally have to save their life. And I hope I did that. And I hope I did. And I hope that I've done something good with Heart and Brain. And that was my last question. But there is so much background to Heart and Brain, and I hope that I get to express it with the other videos that will be coming up, because Heart and Brain was a journey, and it was a journey that I get to share with all of you. So it was extremely fun, extremely sad, but I'm proud. I'm very proud of Heart and Brain, and I hope that you guys are all proud also. So thank you all so much, and I hope that you guys get ready for the next videos. And the next video will be a piece by piece explanation. So I will be explaining each story, the inspiration, background, my interpretation of what each piece means. So I hope that you guys are excited for that one. And also, you could still ask questions on the forum spring if you really wanted to ask a question and you didn't know and you didn't see the link. You can still ask a question, and they will be answered, but not in a video like this. They will only be answered through typing. But thank you so much, and get ready for the next video. And I will be resurfacing Heart and Brain a lot, and I hope that Heart and Brain has inspired you all, because Heart and Brain is filled with so much energy, because I felt it while I was making it. I felt extreme artistic energy, and I put all that shit into Heart and Brain, and I hope all that shit goes to you. I hope so. So thank you so much. And until the next video, happy Heart and Brain Month, and I hope you guys are all celebrating. I know I am. It feels good, and I feel extremely proud. And thank you all so much who sent in questions. This is for you. This is a video dedicated to all of you who sent in questions, because you really understand me and you really do support me, and it means so much. And it could have been 3 questions, it could have been 5, anything. 10 are, in my world, is 10,000 questions. So thank you all so much. Thank you. I'm excited. Bye.